Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Just Gaming Tingz Podcast. Pew, 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 pew. This is episode 19, and we are here to bring you an all queer perspective on video games, gaming news, and nerdy stuff. We're here every Saturday live on twitch.tv/slash justgamingtings at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then later, the episode gets uploaded onto YouTube and your favorite podcast services. My name is Ruby, but I'm not alone. With me, we have Chilora. Hi.
Hey, my name's Laura, but I'm not alone.
I'm also not alone. We're not alone at all. We have also Koga with us.
Hello. And I'm also not alone as well. Gotta keep it clean.
You have I think you're winning on this day because you're not only not alone, but you also have the sanitizing wipes. So I think if this was to be a competition, I think you're winning.
What's the prize?
We'll let the audience decide that.
Uh-oh.
We'll let them decide. I think it's I'm not creative enough, you know?
Please be good to me.
Please, yeah, be kind. Be kind to Koga. Come on, y'all. But we do have our first segment of the day, which is just headline tings, and our very own Koga is gonna kick it off with the story he's been waiting for for so long.
Yes. After 8 years of begging and pleading with Square Enix, Kingdom Hearts series is finally coming to PC as an Epic Store exclusive.
Well,
We'll just have to deal with that, but that's fine. So, Kingdom Hearts Square Enix action role-playing mashup of Square Enix, Disney, and Pixar characters is coming to PC for the first time. The series will be available as an Epic Store exclusive on March 30th, a month and a half from now.
yeah.
Titles includes Kingdom Hearts 1.5 plus 2.5 Remix, enhanced versions of Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue.
Oof.
My goodness, these
These
names.
titles.
Okay. Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. Although the series has spanned a variety of platforms from its beginning as a PlayStation title to arriving on Xbox consoles and handhelds for many of the series spin-off, it has never made the leap to PC. The series follows Sora as he travels with companions Donald, Duck, and Goofy through worlds based on Disney classics. Kingdom Hearts 3, which acts as the conclusion to Sora's adventure, launched on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One in 2019. Then we got some prices down here as well. So we have Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 1.2 Remix will be available for $49.99, and the other games will all be available for $59.99. All right, so for me, this is kind of like finally, because so I've only played like 1 and 2, and I remember them, but if I play them, I'm kind of going to be like, I don't remember certain things. Remember, may need a little bit of help. But I never played
Right.
like the ones like after that because it just ended up on like different platforms like PSP, Game Boy Advance, 3DS, and I'm like, I can't keep up with all this, so I'm definitely behind. But I've been waiting for like a PC version for a while, and it's finally coming to PC. I'm very happy about that. At first I thought the pricing was a little bit off, but then like I read more into it. Again, like I said, I've been behind. And there's more games. There's quite a few games that come with like each set. So
Yeah.
it's not like it's maybe 2. I think it's maybe at least 3, 4 maybe. So that's fine with me. I'm gonna be an Epic Store exclusive. Honestly, not that fond of that. I would have preferred to be on Steam. I just like having all my stuff in like one spot rather than the Epic Game Store. Plus, sales just seems to go better on Steam, in my opinion. But I mean, I'm not sure what happened behind closed doors or whatever. So not fond of that still, but I'll definitely be getting them. Not all at one time though, because that's quite a bit.
Oh, it's
Quite a bit.
yeah, that would be like a whole year journey.
Oh my goodness, are they all that long? All of them?
Yeah, I mean, if you played them like back to back, I feel like if you play like a couple games in between, it feels less. But it took me quite a while because I played a few of them on stream back to back, the ones that I hadn't played, And it took me a while. It took me a while to get through them, but it was super fun.
Things just ain't gonna get done around here. All right.
Yeah.
So Chilora, what do you think about it? Are you gonna? How much of the series have you played, if any?
I've only played Kingdom Hearts 1. I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 3.14. I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 1 and 3/4. I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 572. Um, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Um,
Oh, I
I
missed you,
haven't played any of
Chalora.
those. I remember I did once play a Kingdom Hearts
Oh.
and it had cards in it, and I didn't understand why there were cards in my Kingdom Hearts game, so I
Mhm.
returned it to the Blockbuster that I rented it from. Um, but I think this is exciting, although, like, I know that they put it in like a 2-pack sort of deal for the one whatever and the other one for 4.99,
Yeah.
which to me is sort of like a lot. Like I'm sure you could like I remember seeing those, like not saying that they're not good games. I don't know, maybe they are, but like each maybe like as low as $20 to $15 at like Walmart sometimes,
Mhm.
just for like physical copies like a few years later. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if full price is really fair. I can understand for maybe some of the newer ones, and I think game companies do this a lot, where they just sort of like re-release something that's already in existence for the same price as when it was released, just to make more money. Which I
Oh
understand, but
yeah.
like
That's
I don't
Nintendo in a
know, like
nutshell.
Mhm.
uh,
Yeah.
but Kingdom Hearts isn't Nintendo, is it?
It's
N-
Disney, so that's close
yeah.
enough.
Square
No, I
Enix.
just meant like them, like that model of like selling the game for
Yeah.
and maintaining that price for a super long amount of time. Um,
I think they should at least, because I know a lot of people are probably going to want the whole thing. Like Kingdom Hearts fans are pretty diehard, and
yeah,
like I think they should have provided like I don't know $100 for all of them.
they do have that a similar deal for like I think everywhere else. I don't know if they actually have that bundle on PC. I don't know if it was a thing that the article didn't cover or whatever. But they did have a thing like Kingdom Hearts, the story so far, something like that, and it was like all the games, I think, including three, and it was like around $100 or something like that.
Yeah, I
Um,
looked into that. I think that one was just one, two, and then like three. I don't think it was like the other one's Birth by Sleep, 300
it
something
it
days
included all of
divided
them,
by
yeah.
another one.
It
So
did.
the I don't know, the one I saw like on PlayStation Store, and the prices that they have for these is like the same one they have on the store, except on the PlayStation Store right now they're like all on sale.
Yeah.
They're on sale, so it's a little off. But the prices that they have are exactly what they have on the regular prices on consoles right now. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure of everything that comes with it. I know we have Dex in the chat who says that they're about 20 yeah, 24 hours, 20 to 40 hours, my goodness. And then says 1.5, 1.2 is 4 full games and 2 cutscene
Yeah.
movies. So, I mean, for that much, I mean, for it, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
If they all take like quite a bit of hours, and it's like 40, that's not too bad. And it's not, and they're like, I think the remastered versions. 'Cause I know on PS3 and PS4 they re-released them, and I think that's the version that we're getting on PC is
Mm-hmm.
those.
Yeah.
Please do not cap the frame rate.
Uh,
But yeah,
I yeah, that I will be very interested to see how they do it on PC. As far as the frame rate goes, um, I am personally excited for the people who have been waiting for it because there's a ton of people who never get consoles at all or never got them growing up and stuff like that. So I'm super excited for them. Um, it is, in my opinion, it is worth it. The 1.5, 2.5 remix is essentially the first game, the second game, and there it's like So 1.5 is the first game, and there's a sequel for it called Chain of Memories, and that game is basically the card game that was released on PS2 only in the US for some reason, and Japan, and a Game Boy Advance that got released worldwide. And then there is a cutscene of basically like a spin-off where you play as an organization that is the villain of Kingdom Hearts, basically almost the entire series except for the first game, and you play from like their perspective, and they have like a nice cutscene movie situation where you go through the dialogue and basically the more relevant parts to the story, in which kind of upset me at the time because I was like, no, like give me the game, like just because the game only came out on the DS. I don't know if it was the DS or 3DS. I don't remember the specifics, but it was one of the games that I was like, oh, I was very curious to play it, but it's fine because there's a ton of content. So 2.5 is also included in that package, which is the second game and the prequel called Birth by Sleep, which is, again, like gameplay wise, those two games are two of the best in the series. And they have another cutscene game, but that one isn't like, it's actually okay that you don't play that one because it's kind of repetitive, and it's basically like a summary of the first game. It's a whole thing. Like they go into a computer and like they basically have to recover the data from the first game because someone is trying to mess around with it or something like that. So it's definitely like, it's okay that you just get to see the cutscenes and just essentially just, like a summarized version of it. As far as 2.8, I'm surprised that they didn't do a bundle with 1.5, 2.5, and 2.8, because 2.8 includes a game called Dream Drop Distance, which is basically the last game that came out before 3.
How distant is it?
Well, you're going to have to dream drop into it and find out. That game is not my fave, but it also includes like a game that is supposed to be kind of a bridge between all of the games that came out before Kingdom Hearts 3 and Kingdom Hearts 3. And this is what ties into the Epic Games situation, because 2.8, they had a little thing called, I don't know, it was like 0.2 prologue, and it's supposed to be almost like a tech demo for what Kingdom Hearts 3 was supposed to be. You kind of get to see a perspective of one of the characters. I don't want to get into it because of spoilers, but they did it in Unreal Engine. So they've been working with Epic and Unreal Engine since that, not prequel, but since that prologue, and since they started developing Kingdom Hearts 3. And then, of course, Kingdom Hearts 3 was developed in Unreal Engine. And then Melody of Memory is the latest game that came out, which is just like a rhythm game. So, yeah.
These names are very confusing. Like, that's a lot to go from 1, 2 to 3, and then just a bunch of other things. Like, we're talking names, fractions, decimals.
It's too much.
Math.
It's too much. They could have just easily named, like, every Kingdom Hearts game could have had, like, a number associated with it, but they decided to release a ton of games that were marketed as spin-offs, but they were actually direct sequels or prequels to the game. So you should have just done like Kingdom Hearts 1 through 7 or whatever, however many games there are right now. But yeah, that's why the deal with Epic makes sense, because they have been working with Unreal Engine, and that's basically how they're gonna do games moving forward for Kingdom Hearts. So it makes perfect sense. It doesn't come as a surprise to me. However, if you're a gamer on a budget and you don't have to play Kingdom Hearts on PC, you can have it's on Game Pass on the console version, so you can do that. And it also goes on sale a lot on PS4, PS5. It goes on sale all the time. So if you can avoid paying full price, because I know it's a lot of games and a lot of money if you're gonna get invested into them. Um, so that's what I recommend personally. But if you do play it on PC, you can always wait for a sale. I'm sure they're gonna do something for like Easter or summer or even winter later in the year. So if you have some time to spare and you don't, you're not in a rush to play Kingdom Hearts, then I totally recommend waiting for it because it is a lot of content. And so for me, it would be worth the money. But if you want to get more of like a bundle deal kind of situation, I would wait for later down in the year. My question for y'all is, do y'all is this making you interested, like seeing it on PC, does it make you interested in trying it out, or is it still like overwhelming or a lot to handle?
It's a lot, but I mean, I'll probably go through it. I mean, it might take me a good 15 years, but I mean, we'll get to it at some point.
Not
But
15
I mean,
years.
I mean, I would have gotten it like, so I had like a PlayStation 4 at a point, but like 3 wasn't out yet, and I was always kind of like, this is a lot to go through. But on PC, I'll probably get them because one, I want them to bring more games to PC because that's always been my thing. A lot of times, a lot of games should be on PC and they just aren't, and they take forever. So I mean, as long as the release isn't like a mess or unoptimized like 15 was, which it shouldn't be because that was on a completely different engine. I'll get them probably maybe like one at a time. I would say probably one at a time and wait until I'm done, and maybe hope for a sale. Because like on PlayStation 4 right now, like 1.5 and 1.2 remixes on sale for like $12.50.
Yeah, that's a great deal, by the way. That's 4 games, so it's not. It's the first game is rough to get through, because it's the oldest out of them. So like the gameplay isn't quite there, but the story is charming enough, and the soundtrack is great. But the gameplay of that one is the weakest out of them all. But as long as you do it in the order that it shows you in the menu, like don't listen to the stands who tell you to be like, oh, you have to do the chronological order, so that like they want you to play like the prequel, and like they want to, you know what I mean? Like they want to play the chronological order of events instead of like the release dates. And I'm just like, no, you got to do the release dates. So you start with 1.5 and then you go down the list, and it's essentially an order of events that you need to know. So yeah, even still it's confusing, so don't worry about it if you feel confused or if it's overwhelming. The stands are also often confused about the game. It's part of the experience. What about you, Chalora? You don't seem very impressed or intrigued.
I expressed my confusion in our chat.
I know.
It's very
I only know Sora, Donald, Goofy, Aquafina, Kari, and Riku, and they eat popsicles and something about a poo-poo fruit, and there's 13 emo kids with matching leather
Not
jackets.
a poo-poo fruit.
Right, something Xehanort. I don't know.
Yeah, something Disney organization. Yeah, it's a lot.
They go to different Disney movies and they rescue the Disney hero, and then the Disney hero is like, thanks, cool, see you later. And then I don't know, I'm lost.
Honestly, if you're a Disney fan, it's great for that. Like you get the interactions, and it's interesting because in the first game they really, like, Disney didn't believe in it as much, so they wanted them to stick with like basically like, oh, you have to basically redo the story of the original. So you're basically like, in the first game you basically re-experience the story from those movies in a very summarized way. But as the games progress, they take more liberties, and it's almost like an alternative universe kind of thing, in which like your character is the one that kind of triggers certain events in the Disney story. When you get to 3, it's completely original stuff at that point, and it's loosely inspired by events that happen in the movie.
The second game is just a reboot of the first game because they were like, oh, we gotta redo that. So that instead of redoing the first game, they just made a second game that was the first game.
The game that I talked about with the data and all that.
Because you said that they did like a reboot of like the first game.
Oh, no, I think it was supposed to be like a game
I'm
for people who were like new fans of the series. This was before they did the 1.5 collection. They essentially released a game that was like Data something. I don't remember the name of it, but the game was essentially supposed to be like for new fans of the series, for them to kind of get reacquainted with the original story in a way. I don't fully understand the reason that game even exists, but it's called Recoded. Thank you, Dex. Um,
I've heard of that one.
yeah, it was like a 3DS release, and it was supposed to be like for new fans, for them to get reacquainted with the story or something like that. I don't know. Square Enix, send help.
Send help. Also, didn't they like not put the Final Fantasy characters in 3 for some reason? Like, was that just that one where they started, or did they start doing that beforehand?
I could be misremembering.
But the way this is going, I can definitely understand.
I think 3 doesn't have any Final Fantasy characters in it because they didn't. So there's basically a world in which you meet the Final Fantasy characters that is not like a Disney centric world. In each of the games, you kind of there's a world that where you meet Final Fantasy characters, um, and that world is not in Kingdom Hearts 3. Um, I don't think. Okay, apparently they got added to the DLC, so I didn't play the DLC yet. But they apparently added them to the DLC. Um, I don't remember if Birth by Sleep had Final Fantasy characters in it. I could be wrong, and I'm probably wrong. Um, if they had, it was like maybe a couple of them, but the main draw of it is Disney for sure. Like if you're into Final Fantasy, it's not like every game is gonna have like all the characters from like they just got like a handful of characters in each game, and they were like, hey, they're here, but they don't really like do too much, to be honest.
Yeah, that was just kind of, I guess, part of the appeal for me in the first one. That I was kind of like, that's a lot that y'all have going on here. And I found out in 3 that they didn't put them in there, and I thought that was a bit strange. But I
Yeah.
guess they put it in the DLC because people were mad at them. So
Hmm.
good to know that letting them know their concerns, to put it mildly, put them as DLC, which is also included in the third game, which is why that's still $60 on Epic Store.
Okay.
So
I'm glad it includes it. I'm glad it includes it in that bundle. Because I some people argue that the DLC should have been in the main game anyway. Um, so yeah. Definitely let me know whenever you play it. Let me know all your thoughts and concerns. I would love to hear about it. I do have a story changing gears that is more Pokemon related. Post Malone will hold a virtual concert to celebrate Pokemon's 25th anniversary. Um, this is from The Verge. Post Malone is joining Pokemon's 25th anniversary celebration with a virtual concert. The rapper will perform on February 27th in a digital event kicking off at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. On YouTube, the company released a teaser video alongside the news, which includes a look at a very Pixar-ish animation version of the artist ahead of the performance. The Pokemon Company International announced P25, a series of musical events last month, with news that pop star Katy Perry will headline. Post Malone's concert will be a free event that fans can tune in to over on the event's official website, YouTube, or Twitch. The event is also expected to include more news on upcoming musical acts. This is just one of those like random 2021 news where you just wake up one day and you're like, this is what now? What is happening? Um I'm not particularly into Post Malone. The For those who didn't watch the trailer, it is kind of like it feels almost like a jump scare, like cuz he's like looking at the camera like it like IRL, and then next thing you know, it like flashes to him like animated, and you're like, oh, not that. So I don't know. I'm glad that, you know, this is giving people like jobs, like people who work in the industry as far as like crew and like, you know, people who play instruments, people who are like, you know, people who work backstage. Like I'm not concerned for Post Malone because he's a famous person, but this is good for like people who work in production, people who work in the music industry, and they need those jobs as far as like setting up a stage, setting up cameras, lights, audio engineering, all of that stuff. So I like that they're doing a fun little event. I don't know how pop stars and rap stars correlate with Pokemon.
Poke rap.
Ooh, okay. If he performs the Poke rap, it's I will celebrate.
Well, he's got to do a good job.
Okay, yeah, for sure. It can't be one of those things where he like hears it one time and completely fucks it up. He's just kind of like, oh yeah, I did a. What do y'all
Better
think?
not mess up the names.
What are y'all initial thoughts?
I don't listen to Post Malone, so I don't know. It's like I don't have much of a thought on it because I don't really listen to his music. So it's kind of like there's a Pokemon. There's gonna be a concert with him and Pokemon. I'm like, that'll be interesting. I want to. I mean, that's really all I have to say because I don't listen to his music. So it's kind of like, oh,
who would you be excited to see there then?
I can't remember his name, but whoever sang the Pokemon theme song when I was a young little lad.
Aww.
That would be cool. But I mean, that's for the 25th. I have to actually count it. That's right, because it started in '96 in Japan. That's actually very interesting, and I'm glad to see that it's still around after all this time because I probably wouldn't have thought it would have been around that long back when I was. Because I think I got into it at like '98. So for it to still be going around and strong and still being like as massively popular as it is today, it's still cool. I don't play the newer games like as much, but I mean, I don't know. I like that a lot of the things that I grew up with are still like relevant. Like we have to force them to be, but like no, they just still are.
Yeah.
Like if I did have kids, I'd be like, yep, I was watching these. But you have to show them the old footage and hope they don't dislike it because it don't look as good and maybe a little bit more jank. But as for the concert, I'll see how it. I mean, I'll probably give it a look. I'm pretty sure people will be talking about it, and hopefully it turns out good. But I mean, if he's gonna, you know, for the internet, he's gonna have to pronounce all the names correctly because as soon as he pronounces one wrong,
it's over.
It's over. The internet ain't gonna like be quiet about it for a week.
Right. What about you, Chalora? You seem excited about this news.
I've never posted Malone.
I
don't plan to post Malone. I don't think I'll watch it.
Right.
I just don't really. I don't really know. Like maybe Post Malone is like popular with kids or like teenagers. I don't know. Are they?
I think he's pretty popular. I wouldn't say he's like, I don't know. Like I think he is pretty popular amongst maybe the Gen Zers of the world.
The Zoomers?
The Zoomers.
As they call. Yeah, I don't know. Like it's interesting to see who gets chosen or maybe who just takes the offers.
Right.
Like I've seen Katy Perry before doing like video game stuff. Like she did Sims.
She did the Final Fantasy mobile game.
Final Fantasy, where she had like they made a character for her and everything.
Yeah. I think
and
she did it 2 times.
And now she's doing so she was with EA and now then she was with Square Enix and now she's with Nintendo.
So she's taking all the paychecks.
Yeah, it's just interesting to me that she's sort of been like all over the gaming industry, but I've I don't know. Like, is she a gamer? I've never really heard of Katy Perry being a gamer. Not
I
that you have to be a gamer to do this stuff. I'm just saying, like, I'm not being like an elitist. I just like,
yeah.
I feel like if you, I don't know, like, ideally, I would like someone who wants to do these things because they like Pokemon, or like they like
Yeah.
not just because they saw a Pikachu one time and they were like, I play Pokemon Go, that's cute.
Right.
You know, like, it's just, I don't know.
I would
I would
hope
hope that they would
that
like
she's a gamer.
yeah, I would hope that they kind of like understand the vibes or the series or something. I mean, like, it's fine, I guess, if they like just like Pokemon Go or something, or like whatever. Who am I to say? But like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm not really like, I think for me it makes like a disconnect. And
I
like,
agree.
I think the reason that they wouldn't hire necessarily like the people who did the original Pokemon rap, or like even just the original Pokemon theme song, for example, is probably they're probably way too old, or they're
They're
not
not
doing
enough
music
of a
anymore.
name, or yeah.
Well, yeah, and like there's a whole new Koga. There's a whole new generation of people, like they're probably going to be like, who the hell are these people, and what is this song, and like they'll be confused, like, why are we only doing the original 150? They'll be like, there's so many new Pokemon, like,
Right.
you got to do the whole thing. So
I mean, yeah.
obviously times change and stuff, but
And there's so many people
I don't
who
know.
haven't seen the original series either. Like, I remember on stream one time I was having a conversation of like, oh, like, what was your first Pokemon game? And a lot of people were like talking about like games after when I stopped playing, because they were like on the DS and stuff like that. They were like, oh, my first game was Diamond, or my first game was X and Y. And I was like, oh, the feeling the oldest I've ever felt in my life. Um,
Oh yeah.
I didn't get to ask you, Chalora, if there was an artist that would make it so that you would have to tune in. You would be like, oh my god, I must see them. Who would
Well,
it
I mean,
be?
like, we all know if Gaga was doing it, we'd all be tuning in. But
Yeah, and she's a gamer.
and she plays Bayonetta.
Yeah. Ariana
other
is also a
games.
gamer. She did an interview recently talking about how she plays the Sackboy Adventure game on
Yeah.
her free time. So, listen, Rain on Me, but like CGI with like Pokemon falling from the sky.
Oh my god.
Iconic.
I don't know. I don't. I can't really think of like. I feel like it would be kind of nice or nicer if they invited someone. It's fine if they invite like someone larger, like Katy Perry or Post Malone or whatever, but invite someone new to give them that spot.
Mm.
Like maybe someone who's been supportive of Pokemon, or like, I don't know. I feel like Lil Nas would be a lot of fun.
Oh,
He
he
take
would.
anything he picks up, he can turn into something viral.
Yeah.
He'll do his own things on Twitter and it becomes viral. So I feel like, he's a musician, he's young, like almost every generation, at least that I know, likes him. So, and
He's very likable.
he reaches pretty much every demographic and every minority almost. So
Yeah.
there isn't really a reason not to choose him.
And we do have a comment from Smallzy saying that apparently Post Malone is super into Pokemon. So at least there's that. At least like a fan of the series is a part of the event. Like I would, like Chalora said, I would love to look at whoever is a part of it and see that they're fans of it, not because of like any like weird reason, just because like you don't want to feel it like there's just like it's just another gig for them, or it's just like a paycheck, right? Especially because it's the 25th anniversary. It's such a special, momentous occasion that you would hope that it's meaningful, right? But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if he is into it, that's cool. My thing is, as y'all were saying, is like as long as it's someone who is actually a fan of it. I mean, it's Pokemon. It's not like they would need someone huge who's not into it, for this to be a success. Like,
Right.
hey, isn't it like Pokemon still like one of them, still like the most popular IP on the planet still?
If
It's
not,
not that, it's
one
up
of
there.
the for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, I said personally, I would prefer to go to maybe people who are part of the community or just who are fans of it, or just people who are and just put them more to the front. But if he, like I said, I don't know who a lot about Post Malone, but so I can't say whether he is or he isn't. But if he is, that's a plus in my book.
Yeah. And apparently, yeah, Pokemon is the highest grossing franchise ever created, with an estimate of over $100 billion total revenue.
My
Since
goodness, is there Pokemon
1996.
stocks?
Probably the Pokemon Company, right? Probably. Or Game Freak or someone. Nintendo, surely. I don't know. But yeah, it's Pokemon is number one, if y'all are curious. Pokemon is number one. Number two is Hello Kitty. Number three is Winnie the Pooh. Number four is Mickey Mouse and Friends. And number five is Star Wars.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah, Winnie the Pooh. Number three.
Huh.
Yeah. Retail sales, box office, and DVD and Blu-ray sales. Yeah. All of these series, by the way, all these franchises are the only ones, at least according to Wikipedia, that are above the $50 billion plus dollars. So any other series is flopping. No, I'm just kidding. Any other series is like under, they have like maybe 20 to 50 billion, or, just like small numbers, I guess, $20 billion, right? Anyway.
Well, someone who probably is a Pokemon fan, Jack Black, will play Claptrap in the Borderlands movie, joining Cate Blanchett, Kevin Hart, and Jamie Lee Curtis in our upcoming little blurb, our next topic.
Yes.
Jack Black is the latest big name to join the cast of Borderlands movie. He will play Claptrap in the film, and he becomes the latest big-time Hollywood actor to have a role in the project, joining Cate Blanchett as Lilith, Kevin Hart as Roland, and Jamie Lee Curtis as Tannis. The Borderlands movie is expected to film in Budapest in the first half of 2021, but a release date for the film has not yet been announced.
Ooh.
I'm not really sure how that's going to go with the whole COVID thing, but what do you guys think? I didn't even know there was going to... Is there already a Borderlands movie, or is this the first?
I think it's the
first.
A lot of these movies, I just completely forget that, like, you know what I mean? It's like you may hear about it, but like you just scroll past and you're like, yeah, sure, whatever. At least for me, as far as like movie news, a lot of the times I'm like, oh, they're doing it, okay, whatever. Because like a lot of the times they cancel it after pre-production, or something happens, or whatever it is. So like the only times I actually really get interested in a movie is when I actually see a trailer, especially if it has a release date, right? I actually played a little bit of the first Borderlands, and Claptrap is definitely a very like iconic character. He has like a kind of like a cheeky sense of humor, and he's like your little companion. Apparently it's going to be a CGI moment, so he's not going to be like a Tin Man moment. It's because it's a little robot. So Claptrap is they definitely needed someone with like charisma and a good sense of humor, and someone who can really do that right. The cast seems fine enough to me. I'm curious, but I'm not gonna have any expectations or anything, because we all know how video game movies can be. And also, we're still in the middle of a pandemic, and they haven't even started filming, so who knows when or if it's gonna happen. I wish all the best for them, but they haven't even started filming. So we'll see how that goes. What do you think, Kogan?
Yeah. I guess I mean, we'll see how it turns out. I mean, unfortunately, like when it comes to video game movies, gotta always be skeptical. It just feels that way. I think Jack. I've never really gotten around to playing Borderlands, and my roommate gives me so much crap for this. But I'm aware of who Claptrap is, and I think Jack Black. That was a tongue twister. Saying that back to back like that,
Right?
I
The names
think
are
he'll be
quite
very
similar.
Yeah. So I'm aware of who that is. So I think Jack Black would be great for it, but I don't know who none of the other characters are.
Oh yes.
So I'll see how that turns out. I guess they're supposed to start filming, so I don't know when. I would guess maybe 2023. Who knows? No idea when it'll be out. But I'll give it a try. But hopefully it turns out good. I'm not exactly sure what the story of Borderlands is. I just know shooty loops and get some loot. So that's all I know. But it looks fun. I should try it. I have 1 and 2. I just never got around to playing them the same way as a good portion of my other game because time.
Right. The ever-growing backlog of games that, especially with the subscription services, it's like they add games, they remove games, and it becomes even more overwhelming. And then you accumulate games on, like, if you have like PS Plus or Xbox Gold, or if you have like Humble Bundle, like all of those subscription services, and all the sales. So many games end up getting accumulated, without even counting like retro stuff that you may want to get into.
That definitely adds into it because there's so much of them, and some of them aren't short. Some of them are like the old school stuff, like really, really, really old, like that was just not fair. Those aren't really that long, but when you get into like RPGs and some of those other games that started, those can take time. So it's always, I don't know. That's why it's always stuff for me to play all the time.
Yeah, but I think they've done a good job casting him. We have Smallzy in chat who also played Borderlands. He played Borderlands 3, and he also agrees that it's a good choice. So I'm looking forward to it. We'll see how they handle it. Honestly, with Claptrap being a CGI character, it can go wrong very easily. Like if they just make the wrong choices as far as like how he looks or how they interact and stuff like that. Like it could. We'll see. Listen. It's a video game movie. We'll be cautiously optimistic, I guess. But yeah. Shall we move on to our next story?
Yes. All right. So BlizzCon 2021 schedule promises look at Overwatch 2, the future of Diablo, and more. We have this article from PC Gamer. With the digital-only BlizzCon 2021 now less than 2 weeks away, Blizzard has posted a full schedule for the online exclusive event, which will feature streamed content, including deep dives into Blizzard games, community workshops, Q&A sessions, a cooking show, and more. Definitely didn't expect a cooking show, but hey.
Right? How random.
Pretty random for but I don't know. See, the opening ceremony start at 2 p.m. PT, 5 p.m. ET on time zones on February the 19th and are scheduled to run for an hour across 6 separate channels. After that, the situation gets more granular as each channel will peel off to focus on specific games. Along with the main Blizzard channel, there will be streams dedicated to World of Warcraft, Hearthstone, Diablo, Overwatch, and Strategy, which will cover StarCraft, Warcraft 3, Heroes of the Storm, and other catch-all content. One of the highlights of the event, the community showcase, will begin at 1 o'clock p.m. PT, 4 o'clock p.m. ET, on February 20th and run across all 6 BlizzCon channels, hosted by voice actor Darren DePaul, who has placed roles in Overwatch, Hearthstone, Heroes of the Storm, World of Warcraft, and dozens of other games. The 2021 showcase will shine a spotlight on very best art, talent, storytelling, and cosplay from BlizzCon community. There's also a behind the scenes of Overwatch 2 stream and a Diablo What's Next show that will serve up some interesting insights into a couple of upcoming games you may have heard about. Unlike previous BlizzCons, which require a virtual ticket to fully access, this year's show will be free for everyone from start to finish. The interactive schedule at BlizzCon.com will enable you to tag specific shows to hopefully ensure that you do not miss out. You don't have to worry much if you do. Blizzard is going to post the whole thing in BlizzCon video archives after the show is over, and they'll be free to view as well. That was a lot.
That was a lot. Yeah. Oof.
I'll probably look at some of it. I mean, I don't play a lot of their games as much. Like, I never really got into World of Warcraft. Diablo didn't get much in. I played 3 a little bit, but I didn't play it like hardcore like a lot of people. I think I played it through the base and the was it Souls of Reaper, whatever, the one that was afterwards. And I'm not sure what happened after that. Overwatch, I played it a little bit, but not much. But I am interested to see, I guess, how they're going to handle this one, especially with everything being free and not everyone having to pay this time. See how they handle, this event, especially when it comes to Diablo. I know people are looking forward to Diablo 4, maybe Diablo Immortal. Maybe people warmed up to that. I know when that was first announced, that didn't work out very well for them.
That was, I think, the mobile game, right?
Yeah, that was the one that was from mobile, and people were very unhappy when they heard about it. I think it was more so because they were expecting like the next main series. Yeah. That was when everyone, went to like the actual event, and most people who were going don't play on mobile. So it's like you announced it to the wrong crowd, and they weren't happy about that, understandably. But there's definitely going to be an audience for it regardless.
Yeah.
So I think there's room for both of them. So I'll see how they handle that. Overwatch 2, is that like actually a new full game, or is it like some kind of update and calling it like a new game? Like Street Fighter 2 to Super Street Fighter 2, or is it like, all right, we're starting all the way over? I forgot.
As far as I understand, it's a new game because they're working on like a story mode and like, yeah, new features and like new characters and stuff like that. But we know nothing about it, really.
It looked like it was supposed to be some kind of like, I think it was a prequel.
Ooh, that I don't know. Yeah, but it's supposed to be like more story related. Yeah. Oh, really? Okay.
I think.
Maybe send help.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not too hopeful. Like last time they showed anything about Overwatch 2, it was literally because of a controversy that they had where like I think they kicked out someone from an esports team because he spoke out about Hong Kong like protests that were going on. And they were like, "Oh, quick! Look over there. Here's a trailer." And it came out of nowhere. And I'm very curious to see how much work they actually did, or if they're gonna talk about what's going on, or I don't know. I don't know. They had like a thing semi recently that had to do with like hiring like women or something like that. I think it was like Blizzard / Activision kind of thing. Like they had a whole thing about like hiring diverse staff kind of thing, which kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but I can't really remember details right now. I'm not going to be tuning into it, to be completely honest. I'll probably like read or watch like stuff after the fact just to see like, like little recaps of what happened. See if anything kind of interests me off of them. But yeah. What about you, Chalora?
I don't think I'll watch actively either. It doesn't like really entice me. Usually I just like hear from other people, or I mean, like, I don't know, like most of the stuff in there, I'm still not really 100% invested in. Like, I like Hearthstone. I don't play it that often. It's like I think what they do with Hearthstone is neat. Um, I'm not good at it. I feel like you kind of have to be good at, like, I don't know. That game is a little iffy for me, but I do like watching it. Overwatch, I can understand sort of the direction they're going with it. I just wish that they would just go and do it and it would just be done. Because I think that with Overwatch 2, they're trying to do more co-op rather than PvP, if I was understanding correctly. Um, from like what they like showed and what they announced and stuff like that. So, and I think that's sort of what a lot of people wanted, because like they'll play Overwatch with their friends and then it's just the issue is mostly PvP stuff, not necessarily the co-op part. So having a story mode that you can co-op through, I think will really entice players, because that's kind of what they want.
Yeah.
And maybe there will be new characters. I think that Overwatch is pretty good on like in terms of like hiring diverse people and like making diverse characters. Um, it's sort of a weird area for Blizzard. I think Overwatch is like kind of like in its own little separate world, and
Right.
I wish some other company would buy it so that could just do what it wants to do. Because I think they're having like a lot of pushbacks and restraints put on them in terms of like what they're trying to do and to diversify and stuff like that. Because like for example, like Soldier 76 came out as gay, and then we haven't heard about it since.
Right.
Like, I think something happened there, and they were like, like, shh. And it was like, no, like, let Soldier 76 be gay. But otherwise, I don't know. Here's the Storm has died, and I wish they would pick that back up. That was kind of cool. I don't know. Blizzard is in a weird spot for me overall. They're a weird company in my opinion. I remember like a few years ago, Blizzard was like probably at the top of its game, and nowadays, for me personally, like when I hear about Blizzard, any Blizzard game, or people who like Blizzard, it's sort of like lower tier these days. So I don't think they're doing so good.
Yeah. Apparently the entire controversy was that there was like a proposal for like at least for people to interview at least one diverse candidate per job. I don't know if that's like a new regulation or something that is like making the rounds, but apparently someone from Activision Blizzard said that that would be unworkable. Apparently that would be, too much, which is interesting because every time I click on articles related to this, they actually talk about how diverse their staff is already and how they welcome a diverse environment and stuff like that. So I wonder if they meant it from a perspective of like, we already do the work, even though it's like we don't necessarily make it a thing to like make sure that we hit a specific threshold of people, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like if you're not at least hitting that threshold, then are you genuinely diverse, or do you have just like maybe one or two people of color in your staff and you call that diverse, right? Like we don't really know what goes on in there. But yeah, it is frustrating. And hopefully, it will be something that moving forward they work on. Because I would love to get excited about stuff that they do without them doing something every like few months that makes me want to like not play any of their games anymore. Because I really like Overwatch.
It really does. It really makes you feel that way.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know if it's just this. It feels like, at least from my perspective, that it started like when it became Activision Blizzard. And I've never really been that fond of Activision to begin with. And it's like now it's just things just go downhill. Like I know like like Tony Hawk games are going back to them, which I'm not happy about that. But like, you know, like when Destiny, like when they separated from them, things just shut up, you know, for them and, you know, the fan base, and they've been happy with it. So I'm not too sure, but it definitely seems like they may be trying to, like, when it comes to diversity, I don't know, hit maybe a few, you know, check marks. That's about it.
So in terms of vision, Activision is missing vision.
They missed the target.
I understand like diverse hiring and stuff, like because there's a difference between well, I mean, I don't know. Most companies don't necessarily have equal hiring opportunities, let alone equitable hiring opportunities. And if you don't understand the difference is that equal opportunity means that you're hiring without bias based on any diverse whatever. Equitable is understanding the that certain minorities might not have the opportunities that others do, and making those opportunities for them.
Yeah.
So I feel like, you know, there are definitely like programs such as I believe there's one called Black Girls Program.
Black Girls
like
Code, I think.
Code, yeah.
I think.
So like I know coding is not necessarily the same as making video games and stuff like that, but like there's a million artists out there, voice actors, people in technology, or just in general, like understanding that there's, you know, this issue and hiring or at least providing an opportunity for them makes a difference. So it's really not that hard.
Yeah. There's also I Need Diverse Games, which is also like not necessarily a program, but like a movement, an organization, if you will.
And it's not like a one-time thing. Like,
yeah,
Activision can't just say like, oh, well, I paid my diversity tax. I did it.
right.
I hired one white woman. I'm done.
Yeah.
You know, like.
If you don't mind me getting into it, I actually just pulled up a little not statement, I guess an article about a statement that was made. There you go. From The Gamer. This was in January. This was published January 29th. So basically, Activision Blizzard declined to consider a proposal from the AFL-CIO. The company said the proposal would constitute a, quote, unworkable encroachment on the company's hiring practices. And then the president of Activision Blizzard issued a statement regarding the proposal and the company's stance on diversity hiring and interview practices. So apparently the arguments were that implementing such a policy would amount to an unworkable encroachment on the company's abilities to run its business, and that it would leave no room for the company's management or board of directors to exercise discretion in how new hire decisions are structured. And then
I think they're misunderstanding the whole point.
Yeah, they're just like, we want to control who we hire. How dare you? This would mean that someone else would control who we hire.
Well, not really. I think what they misunderstand is like we're not saying just hire any person.
Right.
Just because they're diverse. Hire people, but like do at least some filtering to figure out if you can hire minorities first.
Yeah. The statement says, we don't need the AFL-CIO proposal to reaffirm what we already do. Encourage every hiring manager to consider diverse candidates for every position. We believe in our existing hiring practices, which encourages every hiring manager to seek diverse candidates for every single role. We also ensure any candidate, regardless of backgrounds, ethnicities, genders, races, and sexual orientations, are considered for each and every open role. And then he said that as a Hispanic leader, he's honored to be a part of the company's efforts to create a diverse workforce. And
he's Hispanic.
And then he mentions that all the new hires are required to attend Way to Play, which is the company's diversity training program. So it just seems like they also mentioned being recognized by the Human Rights Campaign for having a perfect score on the Corporate Equality Index for LGBTQ inclusive workplace policies and practices for the third year in a row.
We have scores?
Apparently.
We have a diversity workplace hiring Olympics?
Apparently the Human Rights Campaign is like, they look at them and they're like, okay, so you get a 10 out of 10 on that, 5 out of 10 on that. But that's interesting. It just seems like the statement was more like bragging on the things that they do right without listening to potential for improvement, right?
What that sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to mention that because I did mention it, I wanted to kind of go further into it so that we wouldn't speak out of turn about that. So yeah, we do have one more topic though.
Yeah, I think equality and eventually equity should be launched globally, like IKEA's gaming furniture, which is launching globally in October.
Ooh, not
IKEA
sponsored.
Not IKEA has launched its first foray into gaming furniture. This Swedish company partnered with PC maker Asus to develop 30 plus products, which are on sale now in China and will launch globally in October. The furniture first teased last fall includes gaming chairs, gaming desks, a mug holder, a mouse pad, and more. The products are affordable relative to some of the competition. For example, the Matchspell gaming chair is retailing in China for 999 won, which is $154, when other gaming chairs usually go for $400. According to IKEA, the Matchspell is ergonomically optimized to help you sit comfortably and game at your peak. For customers who want to spend less, the company developed the $108 Utespillar and the $46 Huvudspillar gaming chairs, which both nix the headrest and are probably terribly pronounced. On the gaming desk front, IKEA has created the Utspel, which starts at $588. It can be adjusted at 4 different height positions and also comes with a USB charging port. Other interesting products include a 4-wheel stand you can place your CPU on and a neck pillow to help you relax between games. As The Verge notes, there's also a strange wooden hand that's intended to grip your cables or headsets.
Yes.
That's gonna.
It's very iconic if you ask me.
Iconic?
Ooh.
The company has cataloged all the products on an English language webpage. IKEA sees a major market in gaming related furniture during the pandemic. People's gaming habits have only soared amid a surging demand for PCs, especially laptops. With an ever-increasing number of gamers worldwide and a rapidly growing market, getting into gaming was a natural step for IKEA, the company said in the announcement. As for Asus, the vendor is hoping the partnership will help expose more gamers to its gaming sub-brand ROG, which develops laptops, graphics cards, and motherboards.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate Chilora's reading of that? Because those names were so hard to read and to pronounce. And I think you killed it. That's my humble opinion. I think you did a great job.
Thanks.
Yeah, definitely. I would have messed that up. Oops. Pillar.
It went pretty swell.
Yeah. Oof. I couldn't. I shan't. I thought this was interesting because I do love an IKEA moment. And I do remember they kind of have slowly delved into gaming. Like they've done a couple things here and there. But I thought this was really cool as like a way for people to get good gaming equipment on more of a budget side. You know what I mean? Because like a lot of things that are marketed at gamers are a lot of the times, in my humble opinion, overpriced, because like they have some sort of design that is supposed to be like edgy or whatever, and they end up being like super overpriced. And a lot of the times, to be honest, gaming related like chairs and stuff like that are not necessarily the most ergonomic ones either. So I like that there seems to be a focus on ergonomic and also like cheap but also quality, right? um I am very interested as someone who wants to upgrade my like equipment and like my desk and my chair and all that. I October needs to come sooner rather than later, because I do want to upgrade my stuff on the cheaper side. Even if I have to put it all together myself, which should be an interesting moment. But it could also make for a fun stream, 5 hours of me assembling a chair.
Well, you can keep all your cables together with that strange wooden hand.
Right? The redacteds are going to ruin that, and they're going to do something with that hand that we all know is going to be terrible. And
Gonna hold something else.
ugh, yeah, don't at some point in their quarantine, they're going to look at that wooden hand. They're going to be like, you know what? It's been a while.
But I do
Oh, it's Discord
PC
freezing
on,
for
it's
me.
like-
I thought it was me again.
No, yeah. Chalora just froze for a second. You're good now, though.
I think that the four-wheeled little rolly thing to put your PC like on is pretty clever, because like we do sometimes have to move stuff around. Like
Yeah.
sometimes like I'm streaming here, or maybe I want to stream in the kitchen. I don't know.
Yeah.
Rather than picking up everything, it's easier just to wheel it around and have my little wooden hands follow behind, holding all my wires.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty clever. I do think that in a way it's not bad, but like I'm a little skeptical, just because like IKEA furniture typically lasts about a year, and I feel like usually as computer users we want it to last a little longer than that, but maybe
Right.
the more average user might want it for less time or use it less frequently than I do. I mean, like the desk I have right now is probably, I think it is pressed wood, but it has like paint and then another coat of like other stuff on top, and then like something else on top of it. So IKEA's probably going to have the pressed wood and then just like one layer or like a sticker on top. So it's just sort of like, I think you need to, not you, but like in general, need to remember why it's cheap and
Right.
like why we're buying it. But I do know that IKEA is typically like pretty decent bang for your buck, and they're usually pretty like nifty, like I'm saying, like with the four-wheeled little PC roller.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I'm just kind of skeptical about the gaming chair,
That's valid, because
because like this one I can lean back on and it's fine, but like an IKEA chair, I'm scared you're gonna whoop, you're
right,
gonna go right there.
that's valid.
Head first.
Yeah. I'm interested in a desk that has adjustable height, because I sit down way too much, like all day basically. So a desk that would make it so that I can stand up and still like do stuff like streaming and just gaming or just whatever it is. I really like that concept. Um, and yeah, just like there's so many things. And another thing is like IKEA is in a lot of places, and I feel like for me as someone in Europe, like there's a lot of stuff that is like gaming related that either ends up being super expensive because it's not necessarily made here, but with IKEA being a company that's basically everywhere or in a lot of places, especially in Europe, it's all like everywhere here. It's it's more, I guess, like convenient. And I'm intrigued. I'm certainly intrigued.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested. I'll see. I guess the quality of it, because I mean, I wouldn't mind getting a gaming chair, but they cost so much. I see the prices of these things. I'm like,
Yeah.
I can get some more RAM or something. Maybe a better power
RAM
supply.
chair, you know.
Look, I was literally looking at that maybe like about 3 years ago, and I was when I was about to build this PC, and I'm like, that stuff costs about as much as the stuff I'm about to buy here.
Yeah.
But I would like to look into a different chair or a desk, because like, believe it or not, like these didn't buy these. So someone like was like throwing these out at our old apartment, and I'm like, okay, it's time to grab some of these and clean them off and bring them into the apartment, and that's where they came from. But I would like a desk that had like an L shape to have a little bit more space, a chair that's a bit. This chair isn't like uncomfortable, but I would like some more comfort.
Yeah.
Not can't lean back like this. That's about it. I'm already feeling like I'm about to hurt myself.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely be looking into it and the prices and whatnot. Like there's a store that's not that far from me, so I'd probably just go take a look, maybe depending on the state of the world.
Right.
But
oof.
But I do like that they're going to do that. It's just that the quality, like the prices have to be low enough and the quality has to be good. That good balance. So
yeah, for sure. I miss going to an Ikea. I do miss that. It's been such a long time. Do y'all ever go and just like next thing you know it's been like a few hours and you're like, oh wow, we're still in this maze, this never-ending maze of furniture and things.
Yeah, I used to live near one, and I didn't have internet at the time, so I'd visit IKEA and just walk around. So I knew how to like do the shortcuts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the only IKEA in the city. So anytime a friend was like, "Oh, I'm going to IKEA. Like, do you want to come with me?" I'd be like, "Yeah." And they'd be like, "Okay, I just need, a lamp." And I'd be like, "Okay, let's skip all this crap and go right to the lamp."
Yeah.
Like, because they do have shortcuts,
Yeah.
which is typically for the staff, but they have like the longer routes because they want you to look at everything.
Right.
And
I love looking at everything though.
My friends would be like grateful, but they'd also be like, "I wanted to walk through the whole store."
You're like, not me, girl.
I don't got time. I've been through this store like 70 times. I don't need to do it again. I basically work here.
Right. That's funny. Should we move on to Just Playing Tingz, the segment in which we talk about the things that we're playing? That's pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's start with Shalora. What have you been playing?
I played a little bit of Littlewood. I think I'm almost done. And then, usually when you're almost done something, you just don't finish it.
You're processing.
What did I play this week?
What did
I've been
you
really
play?
busy, like doing some editing work. So I do an edit, and then I'm just like, ugh, tired. So I've been playing like Genshin. The new event's pretty cute and interactive, like with other people, because you had to like take these like photos or whatever. And then I think I tried the new DBD update, which was terrible, and I hope that they fixed it recently. I think that they did.
I think they
Not
did
sure.
fix the HUD.
'Cause-
I think.
Oh, just the HUD?
I don't know. I don't play it, but I think they at least fixed the HUD or
'Cause there was
changed
an
it or
issue.
something.
There was an issue with the hitboxes, with the like killer's hitboxes or something. Because like I got hit through a locker and a wall
Oh, that's fun.
the other day. But like it just reminded me why I don't like playing DBD. But I don't know. I haven't really. I've been trying to get back into some games, but like it's a lot of work. If anyone out there has suggestions for good city building games, but like not SimCity, like I like building. You know what I mean? Like you like to play like building games that are like strategic, but like not overly strategic. That like it's just way too intense. It's just sort of like casual, but like a little bit
Simulation
of
and
challenge.
management kind of
A little bit
thing.
of challenge, but like it's cute and fun, and like the buildings like upgrade, and like I don't know, I like that stuff.
Have you played
But
Spiritfarer?
I have it, but I haven't played it yet.
Okay,
It's on my list.
I think it would scratch that itch for you because
Oh, is it like that?
it's that, but it's like a boat, so you can upgrade your boat and you can get like different things for the boat, like a farm and like houses for the different people you get on it. And you can fish and you can like gather resources from different islands. And I think you would really like it. I think you would really like it, and it has like a story throughout.
Hmm.
So I think you would really enjoy it.
But other than Spiritfarer.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't play a lot of simulation games, so I that's one that I just thought of because it's that, but it also is not too intense. It's super
Hmm.
relaxing. It's one of those games where when I streamed it, I was just like doing casual things like, "Oh, let me feed my cows." And the next thing I know, it's like, "Oh, it's been 3 hours and I've only done
Fed your
like
cow.
yeah, and I've only done like little things around my boat and I didn't even do any of the story, which is totally fine." But yeah, I think you
Is
would
it
really like it.
resource management as well, or
Yeah, so you like get
oh,
like resources, you get like little quests from the people that you get on your boat, and then there's like you can do different recipes and you can try obviously different combinations to try to get them all and do all of that. It's really cool. I think you would really like it. Uh,
I have to get I'll play it eventually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, no hurries at all. But if y'all have any recommendations in chat, anyone watching, listening to it, to the episode, definitely let us know at Chalora on Twitter. What about you, Koga? What have you been up to? What have you been playing?
So I did stream twice this week. Yasuka 3 remastered, and this is going as I thought because I started on chapter 6 and we're still on chapter 6 because the side stuff is just stuff happening, and some of it's like you're this person is messing with this other person or is having some issue, then you got to beat them up, or it could be like someone's just having an entire scam of they hire someone to act like they're messing with you and they're lost. And then they have you go to their hotel room and they say, hey, someone there is like, will know that you're there for me. Let them know that I've sent you and they'll let you in, which makes absolutely no sense because you just met this person. So why would this person who's in the hotel room, who don't know you, who haven't spoken to this other person, will let them into the room?
Oh, you
They
know.
do that. But no, they do that. And then you come to find out why is because they think that you're like an escort and you're not. And then some
Well,
other dude who was messing with her comes in and barges in on you, but the woman doesn't know who that guy is. Come to find out that the woman that sent you in there, who acted like she was lost, it was just all a setup. And she had the woman who was there, thinking you were an escort, had her pay, and you got sent in there. And it's like,
drama.
it's drama, and this is side stuff. This isn't even the main story. And I'm like, I spent at least 30 minutes, maybe to an hour on this one, and also had to Google how to pronounce Aoi, which is AOI, because I couldn't figure that out. But yeah, so doing stuff like that, this is why it takes so long. I have like at least
Right?
maybe like 30 hours into the game, and I'm on chapter 6, and there's like at least 12 chapters into this game.
Oh,
This is why I
damn.
said we streaming these. I'm not sure because it's going to take forever, and this is what's happening. I'm enjoying it, but it's taking forever. So
Yeah.
besides that, I still been playing Dokkan Battle. On JP, they're still doing the anniversary part 2 just happened. So I kind of slowed down on that a little bit because that is gonna come over to global like end of June and July, and I don't want to do all that stuff all over again. So I'm like, I'll just stop because global is my main account. They did release a new unit and a banner which was Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. I didn't pull them.
Well,
I'm kind of mad about that because I've been waiting since October. And
no.
I'm like, okay, this is what I want. Didn't get them. So that's unfortunate. Gotcha games is how they get. That's the downside. It's just not getting what you want. And then I don't know, like out of nowhere, I started playing Dark Souls Remastered again last night. I haven't played this game in 2 years, so don't remember where I was at, what I was doing, or my build. I walked forward and I was right in a boss fight. So clearly I stopped right beforehand, I guess, to take a breather, and that was 2 years. And just imagine being in a boss fight and be like, okay, what moves do I have? And you can't pause the game.
Well,
and I didn't die somehow, but that was like, now I remember how fearful this game is. Because if I would have died, I would have had to like gone through like a whole set of stuff since where I last was at a bonfire and hope I don't die and lose all my souls. Yeah, I'm definitely remembering how crazy this game is. So I'm probably just gonna play more of it on my own time because I need to finish it. It's just that I got a little bit burned out because I had to like restart multiple times over the years, ranging from my streaming PC, which couldn't handle playing it and streaming at the same time, and I went to like a wrong area that I shouldn't have been at, and I got stuck. Then when I also don't play online no more, and this is why. Someone invaded my game, and they were using hacks, and they cursed me. You cannot fix a curse early on in the game at all. So
I hate that.
Yeah. So this is why I don't play online on that game no more, because I'm like, I mean, you kind of don't want to sometimes because they can just come in and invade your game while you're doing something, and you have to fight this person. If you are what's the word? Whatever word it is to where you're alive. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but anyone who plays knows what I mean. And so if you do that, you're like able to like, bring in friends or, summon helpful AI to help you. So you get perks with that, but someone can just invade your game at the same time. And it's an actual person. So it's probably not going to be fun all the time. So yeah, that's mostly what I've been playing. Oh, I did find a Yakuza gacha game, but it's only Japanese, so I can't read it. So it's not gonna be happening there.
Well,
yeah, but that's pretty much. But I don't know. It's actually sounds like it's been a pretty much eventful week of gaming for me in a while.
that does sound very, very eventful. I love when we're like, oh, I just did a couple things, and then next thing you know, you're like, you've been through so much in so many different games. I just recently restarted my Final Fantasy 14 journey. I saw the announcement for the new one. We talked about it last week, and I impulse purchased the Shadowbringers expansion because it was 50% off. And basically for the amount that you would pay for regular Shadowbringers, it was the amount that I paid to resubscribe to it and to get the expansion so I can be a Vieira girly. And I'm very early on in the game. I'm like level 12 or something like that. So I'm still very early in the game, but I'm in Aether Fairy. So if anyone wants to play, whatever, as I get into dungeons and stuff like that, definitely, let me know. My character is called Ruby Booty, as she should. She's a blonde Vieira. Ow, I just hit myself. She's a blonde Vieira girly, and my outfit, she looks like a horse girl right now. We're just very early in the game. She's a Lancer. She looks like a horse girl, and we'll get through it. I've been told that the outfits get less ugly the more you proceed with the game. So I'm
Let me
just, yeah.
let me go over to see you. I'll give you some glamours, and then you'll never have to be ugly.
Yes. Fixing my fashion. I approve. I approve. So my plan is I start as a lancer, and then first chance I get, I become a red mage, and then first chance I get, I become a dancer, and that's that. I just want to shake
So
my
level
tits.
50 and then level 60.
Yeah. So, I still have a few levels ahead of me, just a couple. But yeah, that's been consuming a lot of my free time alongside Dissidia Opera Omnia, which is basically like a Final Fantasy Dissidia gotcha game on mobile. But it's cute. It's fun getting to play as like all the different characters, and you get like side characters, and you get villains, you get so much range of like characters. Like they recently had a Final Fantasy 8 anniversary, and like they showed like they have like 10 characters from it. So you have like main characters, you have Cypher, Raijin, Fujin, Ultimecia. Like it's cool to like make all these parties with like you can make an all girly party with like your favorite girls from like Final Fantasy 7, 9, 10, whatever it is. So it's really, really cool. I really enjoy that game. It's very much a casual thing that I do. But I enjoy it. And yeah, as far as streaming games, I'm still in my rotation of Final Fantasy 7 Remake, um, Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, and Tomb Raider 3. So Tomb Raider 3 is very interesting. I beat 2 levels randomly. And I'm doing I think they called it the Pacific Islands world. So I don't know how many levels that's going to have. But that's definitely interesting to say the least. They have you as playing as a British woman invading the Pacific Islands and killing the locals. So not that. Not my favorite part of that game, that's for sure. As far as Majora's Mask, I did the first temple, so now I'm moving on to the second area, which is the mountains. And then for Final Fantasy VII Remake, I killed a house. That's what I'm gonna say. I killed a house. I fought a building and I survived. um, so yeah. And now we can move on to like self promo time. So since I'm already talking about my streaming rotation, I might as well just like continue and like finish my little thing. So you can expect all those games in my rotation for streams every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. 4 p.m. Excuse me, GMT, which is 11 Eastern Standard. Yeah. Watch me play those 3 games for the first time. It's a hoot. Everything else, Project Ruby. I also have a podcast that is non-gaming related called Breakfast at Ruby's, where I talk about everything. Sometimes gaming does seep into there because I'm a gamer as well. So yeah, it's a fun time. It's a fun time. But what about you, Koga? Where can people find you? What can people expect? All that good stuff.
Okay. You can find me here and on Twitter at Koga_Jangles. As I am trying to get back to the swing of things on streaming, I want to at least do Tuesday and Thursday. Mondays are usually like up in the air because like it's due to like work and potential overtime. But I also want to make sure I have a day to where I'm getting off work to where I can actually like just sit and like relax, because I did while I was trying to do like this earlier this past week. I'm like, I can't do like one day, then another day, and then wrestling with my room. We're not actually wrestling; we're watching wrestling. And then stream another day, and then I have like one day to where I'm not doing anything because there's like maybe something else I want to like do outside of that. So I would say at least for sure Tuesday and Thursday, definitely going to be continuing Yakuza 3 Remastered because I need to get through this game so I can get to 4, and then 5, and then 6 comes out like the end of that next month, and then I need to play 7. yeah, there's a lot that I need to do. I might be doing a stream tomorrow, a birthday stream for tomorrow. Tomorrow's my birthday. Yeah.
Ooh, yes, happy birthday.
Thank you. I might be doing that. If I do, it's probably early tomorrow. Probably doing another Sega Saturn Sunday. I haven't done that in a while. It depends. I know, like, my mom's supposed to be swinging out here tomorrow, though I'm not sure because it's snowing. So I'm not really sure what's happening tomorrow yet. So I would say I will post that on Twitter for sure. Of what I'm going to be doing, but probably just do that because playing like old school games for the most part can be just sit back, chilling, relaxing, unless it's something like Castlevania. The old school ones, I like them, but sometimes it gets frustrating playing some of that stuff. But that's pretty much what I have upcoming. How about yourself, Chalora?
Before I get into mine, what kind of attacks did you use to kill that house, Ruby? Did you use homing attacks by any chance? Homing to kill the house?
The way it took me way too long. I was trying to figure out, I was like, homing attacks? I don't have any characters. And then I was like, hold on a minute. I love that.
As usual, I'm always working on something else other than my own shit. But this month I've been working on some work with Team Stream Queens and Black History Month. You can find all of our efforts and videos and inspirational little tidbits of the participants for our upcoming event called Reclaiming My Time, which is a all-black convention at the end of the month, February 26th to 28th. And those are all on the Stream Queens Twitter page, and that's what I've been editing, is all those videos where they speak about what inspires them, involving like Black culture, Black music, and all those types of things. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Yeah.
And then next month I'm moving. So it's just the world really said, Chalora, you're not allowed to work. You're allowed to work, but you're not allowed to do your own shit.
Right.
You're going to be doing some other stuff.
Yeah, lots of amazing and also overwhelming stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Send Chalora also pet photos and memes, and as you send
tell me about my resource managing building games, because when I'm done editing and doing all my work for that, I just want to like chill and do nothing.
Absolutely. You can also support us at Just Gaming Tingz on Twitter. You can see when we go live and we do any updates or any announcements. We put those on there. We also are on Twitch at Just Gaming Tingz with a Z, and we have our gaming streams sometime during the week. We have our weekly podcast. We also have a YouTube channel. It doesn't have a custom URL yet, but if you do subscribe to it, if you just look up Just Gaming Tingz and you subscribe to it, at some point we will be able to get a custom URL if we get enough subscribers, or when we get enough subscribers. Let's manifest that. We're super close to affiliate on Twitch as well, so don't forget to drop a follow and tell a friend if you enjoy the podcast, for sure. And we'll be back next week to talk more about all the gaming things. And until then, have a wonderful week. Stay safe, and happy Valentine's Day also, because it's the day before. So yay! Enjoy the candy on sale. All right, bye y'all.